Hi Sagittarius, it's a new moon in Gemini for June 17th through the 18th reading for you. Um, New moons bring in new cycles. For the coming 2 weeks, you have the Temperance card as a theme, something that you may have to learn and deal with as you go through these 2 weeks. Temperance gives you a yes card. It asks for balance, moderation, caution, divine timing. Things seem to be in a state of flux when the Temperance card shows up. And because it's associated with Sagittarius, it can your temper can flame. You can be temperamental, but it is asking you to find balance and moderation in situations because things are in a state of flux. Nothing is quite settled yet, but that can also cause aggravation or just an unsteady kind of energy frame of mind. But let's see how that affects you. Okay, you have the Seven of Cups. There may be some choices around, some confusion in choices. These are the 7 planets that offer you either 7 virtues or 7 vices. And you may have some confusion as to what to choose. And because it's cups, there's emotional confusion with that. It can cause some emotions to flare up. This card often says to look to see, if you're having difficulty making choices, look to see what the heart wants. Along with that, yeah, you have the Two of Pentacles. You can be keeping a few situations up in the air, trying to juggle them, maybe doing some multitasking, which could definitely cause some confusion. There may be schedule confusion. So I would make sure to have a planner available, because you may have so many things going on that you can get dates and times and stuff like that mixed up. With that Two of Pentacles, there can also be some financial juggling. So maybe you're moving monies from one account to another, or trying to figure out what is the best way to protect your money during a volatile financial worldly situation. It's crazy out there. So Two of Pentacles kind of causes a distressed turn of mind, but this card asks you to find balance or to move sort of a little bit less, how do I want to say this? Juggling is a fun act, and so moving through the situation with a lighter heart. I'm going to put it that way. That's what the Two of Pentacles is asking us to do. You're behaving like a King of Swords, so this is my Libra card. All right, so he is logical and he is reasonable. He wants facts and figures. He doesn't want to believe in the fluff. And this can be the law. So you may be laying down the law. You may be being a bit strict with yourself or with other people. They certainly have no problem speaking their truth, the King of Swords. They don't usually want to hear it from anybody else, but that's because it's a cardinal sign and they feel like their truth is the truth. So, take that with a grain of salt. Anyway, the King of Swords, Libra. If you are dealing with somebody, they can have very pointy features, sharp cheekbones, sort of pointy eyes, meaning that they're very sharp, not rounded almond eyes, but very sharp, pointy eyes. They can be long and thin and pointy, like sort of bony sometimes. Okay. And with that, you have the World card. There can be some movement necessary. You may be traveling when the World card appears. Some people may be graduating and moving on to their next cycle, moving on to a job. And maybe we're kind of wondering, what's that going to be if you're graduating and you're out there? Because it's financial situation here. So things of the earth with when the pentacle cards show up, earth or physical well-being. Forgot to do that for her cartoon breasts. The world card is the end of a situation. Like I said, it's graduation. When you look at the magician card, he holds one of these batons, one of these wands, and by the end of the cycle, you are balanced and you have both of them. So you have mastered something when the world card appears. And it is just small things that you have to do before you move on to the next level, the next phase of your cycle, the next level. And so these may be the small things that you have to clear up. So let's say you're moving, right? And you have to make sure that you have deposits down on the new place. You have to make sure that the moving van is going to the right place. That kind of thing. Little things, right? Okay, so at the end you have the Four of Cups here. This is kind of a bit of a bored, distressed, emotional situation. This is an offer of some sort. So if you think about it, it's this cloud again that's offering you something, and they're saying if you're bored, if you are unhappy with things, here's another cup to fill it up with something that you do want, that will bring you some excitement, that will bring you some joy. So you may very well narrow your choices down from 7 to maybe 4 or 1 in particular that you think is right up your alley. And it probably will be, because there is the Six of Wands, which is my victory in group situations card. So there does seem to be a group involved here towards the end. Maybe you're moving from one company to another. Maybe your company is moving. Maybe you've gotten the legal permission to do what it is that you wanted to do. With that King of Swords, legalities are very often in play. But the Six of Wands is a victory in group situations. You can take your little victory lap, but you know that there's more to go when you have the Six of Wands. People can also be talking you up, singing your praises when the Six of Wands comes around. You have another 2 here, so more decisions, something cutting off something in favor of something else. I always consider the Two of Swords like a scissor, and so we're cutting something off. Now this is the moon in Libra, right? And so Libra is that balanced scale, and that means that that you may have the ability to see both sides of a situation. And so it's difficult to make that cut or make that decision. And maybe you don't. Maybe you can just reconcile both sides of it and be at peace, because this is the return of mental peace. Or maybe you just cut off something in favor of the other and you're okay with it. You're happy. The decision, whether it's good or bad, right or wrong, brought you that kind of emotional and mental peace that you were looking for. There does seem to be some separation or something of a move on with the Three of Swords card. This is healing from a broken heart. This is the actual cut, right? This is the actual wound. And afterwards you have the 3, which is healing from a broken heart. This can be dismal weather, but it can also be just the feeling of separation. It can be actual separation, but it can also be feeling like you're separate from things, from situations, or maybe you don't want to get involved in somebody else's tete-a-tete, or this separation that's happening. Maybe you want to distance yourself from it. That's also possible here. I don't know where that came from, but there it is. And you have the Seven of Swords here. So 3 swords, there's a lot of mental power. But this is the master of his mental faculties. So if anybody can do it, you can, but there is definitely a progression here. The 7 of Swords, however, is your strategy in this case, I think, because it can be trickery, it can be betrayal, it can be things that are going on behind the scenes that you don't want anybody else to see. In this card, it depicts there's a group of people way over here in the back, and this individual has come to the enemy's camp to steal away the swords so that they can't be used against him. So that's pretty intelligent strategy, if you ask me. But there is strategizing going on here. Still, it can be like spying on somebody. It can also be open enemies. However, if it's aspected by the Six of Wands, I think that it means that your strategy works. That you had a good bit of strategy going on there, and it seemed to work out in your favor. But there are definitely things going on behind the scenes that you may or may not know about. And I think that's why you have the Six of Wands here. You are a little over halfway to the end of your cycle, but there's still more to go, and that could be the strategizing that's going on with that Seven of Swords. So what does Spirit want you to know? You have the Queen of Pentacles. I like this card. It is, for me, the card of Aquarius. But this person gets what they want. She's practical, though. She doesn't really mess around with silliness or ridiculousness. I don't even think that she's somebody who wants to play games. I think she's just somebody who does practical things to get where she needs to go. Slow and steady, but there it is. Which you wouldn't attribute to Aquarius, because I think Aquarians are a little more nervous, whereas the Queen of Pentacles is not. Not to say that she can't get nervous, but she's pretty grounded, and if she does get nervous, she knows ways to ground herself. This is a person who gets what she wants, the Queen of Pentacles. So, there you go. You may just get what you want. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this has been helpful. I will return in 2 weeks with a full moon reading. I do dailies, and I am beginning to do romantic readings. The next one that's coming up is Virgo, and then I will go through the rest of the signs, and then start all over. Okay, thank you for listening. Take good care. It's much appreciated. Bye.